Welcome back, guys, to the channel here at Tres Novis. In today's episode, we are going to talk about a couple of common mistakes that people make when starting to build their financial freedom and their net wealth. Are you making these mistakes? Stay tuned. So, when it comes down to investing and building your personal wealth and your net wealth in general, there are a couple of common mistakes that people make, and these aren't mistakes in themselves necessarily, but they are symptoms of mistakes. These are, if you find yourself doing a couple of these mistakes, you know you are probably doing something wrong. Number one, guys. So the first one is constantly logging into your accounts and checking your balances. Whether it be your private investing account, you might have some type of retirement account set up. If you log in very often to check how your holdings are doing, your positions and your assets, that might be a symptom of you having invested too much, right? Now you'd ask me, well, how can you invest too much? Well, it's simple really. If you invest too much money, what you will notice is you are not comfortable, all right? And the first rule of investing is you should be comfortable with your investments. You should be able to go to sleep. You should be able to, live your life like you normally would. And you should be able to do the things that you normally do with your family. Go on a vacation, upgrade your home furniture. Investing shouldn't take up all of your time and the efforts and the hard work that you and your family are putting in. If you feel the necessity to check in constantly, that means you're nervous. As I've said in an earlier episode, the 10% is a good way to start because most people should be able to save 10% of their net income and it shouldn't affect their lives in any meaningful way. The meaningful part, however, is when those 10% start to make you money. Another mistake people make is jumping on the new thing, all right? Recently, we've had cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and such. We've had, in the last couple of months, autumn, now early spring of 18, cannabis stock. What makes you think that you are a greater investor in any of those assets than the people who have been doing it for a couple of years already? Are you buying those assets because somebody else told you to? What could possibly be a pump and dump scheme, and you should be very careful of those. Pump and dump schemes means somebody buys an asset, a stock, for example, a penny stock, or the brand new thing, and they wait a couple of days, a few weeks, months, years even in some cases, and then all of a sudden people start to hear about it. But when they find out, oh, well, this stock seems to be doing really well, and the newspapers start to write about it even, and it all comes down to one single source. One guy said, oh, this company is going to explode. And if you invested at that point, chances are you are going to lose out. They spread the good news and the stock increases in value, or the assets. Everybody should be in Bitcoin right now. Should we? Really? And so why are these mistakes so prevalent and so common? Buying the things that other people tell us to buy, checking into our account so often because we're nervous. Investing and starting the journey to your financial freedom and the way to your high net worth as a family or as an individual is a very interesting journey, right? I mean, come on, guys. We see it all the time around us. Oh, this guy made such and such millions, and these people over here, they had this and this, and we get drawn into it. The media makes it interesting. Movies make it interesting with the rich and the famous and the gold watches and the yachts and the airplanes. It is something people strive for. Why is it so difficult, especially in the beginning? Because we get our hopes up. Oh, it's going to be super easy. It's going to be so fantastic. In just a couple of years, I'm going to be a millionaire and I'm going to buy this house for my parents. We have to be realistic. Getting to a point in your life where you are financially free takes time. It's a journey. It's a lot of hard work. And there are many, many stepping stones on the way. So how can we make sure we stay on track, we stay focused, and we make sure we don't make these mistakes? First of all, let's bring our hopes down a little bit. The stock market is probably overvalued in most places around the world. Chances are we will see a major correction or even a financial crash. Scary. Again, guys, it's not a quick process reaching financial freedom. You have to work away at it, you have to put in the time and the hours, but eventually you will get there, all right? Don't fret about it in the beginning. Again, start with saving 10% of your money. Find a way that you are comfortable investing. Don't focus on what everybody else is doing. Did you know that the average investor make less money than the actual asset that they own? Why is that? Because they are afraid. They jump in and out of the market constantly. They try to be in when it goes up and they try to withdraw when it goes down. And the timing of it is simply impossible for our feeble human minds to work out. We can't do it. We can diversify, we can stay in it for the long term. Every single month that we have any type of income, we put it to work, leave it, and let it work for us. Don't chase the highest possible gains. Chances are you will burn yourself, or even worse, the first time it works out great, the second time's even better, and then the third time you put all of your money into something and it crashes. So we talked about worrying about your investments because either you put too much money in or you're not sure what you are investing about. Stay away from that, always be sure of what you're doing. Don't choose a risky investment because you think it's going to make you the most money. The second thing we talked about was investing based on what somebody else says, the advice. Now, how can we prevent this from happening? The easiest way is probably to measure and find out your net worth. Strictly speaking, your assets minus your liabilities, and then the net results, your net worth. If your net worth keeps increasing, chances are you're doing a good thing. You can invest money in the stock market and you can hope for tremendous returns. Other things you can do to make sure your net growth is increasing is to try to trim off your liabilities. Stay away from that new car for a couple of years, let the old one run its course. Getting rid of debt is a tremendous way of increasing your net worth, because remember, liabilities are something we pay for and assets is something that's paying us. You can increase the income or you can decrease the outflow. If you do neither, you stay level. Your net worth will never increase. If you can bring up your income and at the same time lower your expenses, get rid of your liabilities, you will see your net worth will increase. And as it does, over this time period, you will learn new things. You will pick up a book about stock market investing. You will watch, a YouTube channel like this one. You will meet friends. You will talk to people who turns out to be investors. And then you can make informed decisions. So to summarize, guys, what we learned today. Don't check your account too often. It means you are uncomfortable in some way. Either you have put too much money in or you've invested in something you're not completely sure about. In either case, something needs to be changed. The second thing, don't buy what everybody else tells you to buy. Typically speaking, it's not a good idea. In fact, almost never. Because if it truly was a great investment, they wouldn't tell you. They would keep all the gains for themselves. Makes sense if you think about it. Number 3, keep track of your net worth to make sure that you are on the right path to your financial freedom and the life that you desire. Keep track of your liabilities, keep track of your assets, make sure that your assets grow to some extent, or in fact, at least try to get your liabilities way down. All right? Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next episode. As always, please comment down below. What does your net worth look like? What assets do you own? What liabilities can you trim away? Oh, by the way, a simple way to reduce your liabilities, your monthly outgoing expenses really, pick up the phone. It's not all that difficult. I once a year at least, I haggle with my ISP provider. They provide me with, the TV here at home and the internet. I call them up once a year and say, hey, actually we don't watch much TV. I don't need it. I don't need the extra HD whatever channels. And they say, oh, okay, yeah, well, okay, we can cancel it for you. Then you made a call to customer service. A couple of weeks later, the salespeople call you up because they want you back as a customer, or they want to keep you as a happy customer at least. They have a completely different set of authorities than the customer service reps do. They say, oh, okay, well, you don't want the channel, these extra HD channels, but you want to keep the internet, okay. And so how about we make a deal? And they give me a new price, right? For 3 years going now, in 2018, I have been paying the same price or less than when I did when I bought it the first time. And remember, the first time I bought it, they had this bonus program where the first year was much cheaper. The second year it was going to double. Right before I did, I called them. I say, hey, I don't want it to double. I don't need this. I can cancel the service. They decreased. Instead of doubling my price every month for the internet and the TV, we still have the same channels, the same, the same internet. In fact, we are now paying less than what we did the first year. And now we're coming up on 2018 on the third year, and I'm still paying the same amount, less than the sign-up bonus.